this moment really fantastic football, both Liverpool and Man City. But you will always see that there are an era can come to an end, and I'm looking forward to battle with them, and I'm sure all the other in the Premier League, all the clubs will want to.
Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
Remember the comment he made?
I got a bar to these.
Run Ryan.
And the other thing, you have players out there.
I think the fellas will take it more serious.
What grade?
That one had to go.
Yes, because at the end of the day, right now, Manchester United are
Call that the paddle full tonight, boy. Jesus Christ.
I'm back.
Tonight, boy. Look. I got my Ajax jersey, so I defended my man. I care about one.
That was quick.
Welcome to All In, All United. I'm here joined by Lion and Simeon and Nico and Chef and JP and Reem and Big Phil. For y'all guys saying, what's the word?
Today was a good day. In the great words of Ice Cube, today was a good day.
My manager, but I'm not talking to all you.
That's how. My volume get in trouble. I'm coming back.
Yeah, man. Hey, comunicado oficial. Right?
Yeah, I never smiled so much when they win a game, man.
Nah, here all going on, right? Let me read the runner. Comunicado oficial. Erik ten Hag has been sacked by Manchester United with immediate effect. Right? I think Lion you did send me a picture with the car leaving and like Ten Hag knocking because you ain't see no way, you seen a ball.
The man phone for long by the man phone for long as looking for it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's itself.
The man fall through the car seat.
Yeah.
You was gonna see if the funds released by.
The life itself, that's 17 million or 10 million or however much. You know? But I mean, fellas, we hear, I think this news, I don't think it will catch anybody, would have caught anybody by surprise. I mean, the timing was a little bit off, but the sacking was inevitable as far as, football fans were concerned. I don't think after the season you had, and then to lose to the worst performing team in the league, I don't think somebody could have survived that. And yesterday we was talking on the pod, we was doing a match reaction, and somebody saying, I can't remember who it was, but they were saying, oh, yeah, that is it, man. It had no way he could survive this. And I was saying that, hey, nah, boy, Ten Hag didn't look as though he was facing any imminent sacking. And all we get the comunicado oficial today. You understand? Anyway, let me get the initial thoughts on the news now, because I know for some, it would have been welcome news. For others, indifferent. I don't know if the indifferent group here represented, but where's all the initial thoughts on the decision by INEOS to part ways with Erik ten Hag? And for those that not watching, I just want to run back the clip around at the start, just for the benefit of those who now joining, right?
This moment really fantastic football, both Liverpool and Man City. But you will always see that there are an era can come to an end, and I'm looking forward to battle with them, and I'm sure all the other in the Premier League, all the clubs will want to.
Well, where it went wrong for Ten Hag? Where it went wrong for Ten Hag? Where did it go wrong for this man?
Are you hearing me right?
Yeah, go through.
But for some reason, right, all them managers, when they come United, they will look in one way. And when they leave, they look at the 8, 10 years. I watch it, even when David Moyes come to the United. David Moyes, you watch up at here where he was not talking there. He not looking the same.
No,
was
you know, looking
before.
so.
Right?
That was,
David
that was-
Moyes.
That was his first press conference as United manager.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I watch Moyes, when I watch Mourinho had black hair. By the time Mourinho leave United, he full grey now.
Yes, United doing that to people.
Right? Oli, well, boy, you say Hatta coming soon. When I watch Oli.
Babyface assassin. By the time he leave, he look like an old assassin.
I tell you, Ragnick coming looking shiny. In the Ragnick will 6 months, he and all. He get deal with. Yes, United, boy.
It's one of the toughest jobs around, boy. No matter.
Yep.
Nah, I'm
Listen,
telling you, the weight of this United job.
It's a Bar Ferguson set that people trying to stay up with, which is kind of wrong because you need to like start over. At Arsenal, you don't have that pressure. You don't have that pressure at Chelsea. You don't have that pressure at Liverpool. And you don't have that pressure at Man City. All right? So it's a high Bar Ferguson set that we're trying to keep up with. But you can't keep up with that. You have to start over somewhere and build from the ground up.
So what we've been doing?
No, well, the thing is, we always trying to find a manager in the mold of Ferguson, right? To continue what he did. But we had to face the reality.
I guess he expect.
Is a start over. Build it from the ground up. Yeah.
From the time you see on your phone club statement,
Sorry.
you know something. You know something going down. From the time you see the man post the corner flag, you know something going down. The man has always made some major announcement with the corner flag. And lo and behold, we were on the podcast talking last night about we giving Ten Hag till Christmas. My man ain't even make it to Halloween. Jesus Christ. Oh my gosh.
By the international break at least.
I didn't give him till the international break. And he still make it a couple weeks after that. He was supposed to be gone, but
It was kind of joy for some. But what really kind of pissed me off is some of these players taking to Instagram and saying thank you. Only Kobe Mano I can accept because he did give Kobe Mano a chance, but these other players have the audacity to take to Instagram.
That'll put in the little man coffin by.
Yes.
Simeon
over the bar.
Bruno.
I swear, all the one of that wicked soul that but they're editing Jadon Sancho Instagram. One a real wicked boy.
Yeah.
But they got a ball man at a palm waving boy.
But let's see the hair on too.
Yeah. What they say?
The Italian gesture.
Yeah, they relax yourself across an activity.
Nah, man, look sure, boy. Look sure and make a appearance. And oh man, he on all Instagram.
That's
it. About, you know, it's so sad.
Imagine that.
Did Rashford say anything?
Look sure force it to come back for England now.
Yeah.
Look sure get himself fit to play for England. And when he come back United, all of a sudden there's months out there.
I tell you, come back soon. I mean, INEOS.
Yeah, definitely you're gonna come back soon.
Exactly. INEOS watched the show last night and see Chef wasn't here. And INEOS say, boy, Chef, that things must be really bad. You know what? It's time. You know, it's time. We wait too long. When Chef stopped showing up, it had to be bad. So therefore, let's say, hey, but now,
Lion, we not football. We must together. And ask Lion why I said I was so calm in that game yesterday because I said, yes, this is it. That was the only thing had me calm yesterday, you know. Mark didn't say that.
Yeah.
I say that. I said the only good coming out of this is a sure he did. They had no choice.
He was
They
on
had
the end of the-
none.
He was on the end of the plank, even if we win it.
They had none. They had none done. They had no choice.
But seriously though, after this question, after watching all those stills of how all the goals they made, tell me with a straight face that Netflix didn't try and get this man fired. All them
Nah.
pictures of
It's only-
Nah, I wouldn't say so, you know.
That.
But
Them
them
fellas
pictures-
were just real terrible.
say so.
yesterday. That was real terrible.
more than usual.
They could have games
Because every
like
time,
that.
every time we go behind, them fellas start to play. Every time we go behind, is only when them fellas start to play. So they try their best not to get him fired, but it's too late.
that best thing.
It wasn't based on tactics. They meant that Ole ball it out to see they could help him out, but it wasn't working.
When he was so low, I see him shake his head, and he just kind of either try to bite up his lip or something. I see this man gone by. And he shake that head so, and that ball head shine. I say, nah, that is it. Hard luck so there.
Man make Manchester United fans dislike ballhead man, you know.
Yeah. That's right,
Yeah, you had a rough time, boy, chef, boy.
Trust me.
Yes, no, ballhead man in style, ballhead man sexy, you know. All of a sudden, Ten Hag come, nobody like ballhead man again, you know.
Watch man, Muller realized Phil realized so Phil has something in place. Watch Phil reading something in his head.
Like, exactly.
You know?
As boy, you could look at all the good looking ball men in the years. No pun, Michael Jordan,
Chef,
Big Phil. Look at all the men at ball head, and all of a sudden you're my Erik Ten Hag come in and spoil it for all the way, boy.
Yeah,
My DM.
that's his skill, Joey.
We'll have to grow in here.
Nah, at all.
Nah, boy. But
Now, we can talk about it, but somebody gonna be the bearded, person. So probably beards might get in style, or people might hate people with beards. So we can see how it goes. Let me get some comments real quick, and then we'll get into it, guys.
The comments start.
Yeah, Javid on the inside. Thanks for joining. Good night. Needed to be done. Thank you. Next, all right. Dean Cameron on the inside.
Short
good
and
night
sweet.
to you. Thanks for joining.
Good night.
Yeah. Kevin Williams on the inside. He's saying the players let him down badly.
Agreed. But he let himself
Yeah,
down badly.
but what tools you get them to work with?
Yeah.
The tools is lacking.
Yeah. Kristen on the inside. Thanks for joining. He's saying Ruben Amorim.
nah, I got some questions about that, but anyway.
Well, they done ready to jump on the next man back. Oh God.
Kennedy Richards Jr. on the inside. Thanks for joining, man. He's saying, what we building, Lion? We started over at least 6 games.
6 times.
6 times. Right, I think it was time for him to leave. He had enough time. Let's see what the next
Before you go on.
There's the MP for point 14 we haven't set yet.
Yeah, that's him.
The MP for point 14 we haven't set in a room.
All right.
Don't forget to like and share. Don't forget to like and share,
man.
man.
Now we say Mr. Kennedy Richards.
Let me answer this quick now. Well,
let the mayor point 14 answer that.
Yeah, well, as I understand one time, I never balance it, but yeah, well, INEOS is a new era, so we could say this is a new rebuild, even if it's after 6 times, but it's a new rebuild under INEOS, a new structure, everything, and they get the manager they wanted, or they're not confirmed yet, but they didn't want Ten Hag. And they finally hire a manager that they wanted. So even though the process was supposed to be way back, it had no continuity. So let me see what happening now. This is a new year.
And if I could add to what Lion's saying there, right? With everything that INEOS came in and do and the changes that they were making, the manager was the last change that they had to make what their hand complete. You understand?
Yeah, that's true.
So now this is all on INEOS. Everything is on INEOS now from here on,
Yeah.
So let me ask a question to that though, because I agree with you all. Should it also include a clear out of players?
No, but when you look at it, you're seeing.
It's harder to clear out players than a manager.
Yeah, I agree.
But no, it has started. It has
It's a
started.
process.
With who?
Yeah.
It's a process. Well, come on, how much players we get of?
We have players who leave.
Back in the time of Glazers, I sure Varane was getting a new deal.
We don't still have Martial here.
It's our players
but it honestly. So I made my notebook outside because I made a notes of mishaps. But I take my recipe book to make notes of mishaps by Ten Hag. I fill a whole page,
Now, Chef, you're going on. We going to that, right? So go and get
a whole. All you feel a joke.
Go and get a book, right?
Go and get my book.
Yeah, go and get a book. Let me finish the comments. Let me finish the comments and then we'll go to that, right? Because that's what I want to start off with, right? Darian on the inside, we need a change, but we back to square one. Not necessarily.
I disagree. It's back to square one.
Yeah.
Right. Kevin Williams saying here, can we sell Rashford? No, I beg. All right. He also saying here, Ten Hag wanted Kane. They said no. He wanted to keep Greenwood. They said no. This season we lack goals.
No, man.
Football, listen, you cannot always get the ideal in football, and this is where me and Ten Hag always had issues. Ten Hag always needed the ideal to succeed, and I had an issue with that. In football, things don't always be ideal.
Too much,
right? Yeah. So I want to start with JP, right? I mean, and I guess wherever we don't touch, Chef Gavini book, right? So although we want to kind of take it first point and kind of dissect where things started to go wrong for Ten Hag, right? Because he started off hot and sweaty. That interview, we talk about that interview, that first interview. Eras come to end, everybody was like, "Oh God, man, yeah, thing, nice man, talking confident." And then we hear and Pep still there. Well, it was Jurgen's decision to leave. Nobody didn't fire Jurgen.
You get rid of that club.
And you get your neck boss, right? So, JP.
Let me see where it starts for me, boy. I think you see that first season where we started to realize, coming down to the end, how crucial one or two players to his system when Martinez got injured. It was the first season Martinez picked up an injury, right? And you saw how Ten Hag started to talk about the importance of this one player. And to me, I think that is when I started to see a problem, because there's no way a team that's pushing for titles could be so reliant on one or two players. And your whole system of playing is so reliant on one or two players. And in hindsight, it's easy to look back and say this. But at the time, we would have been thinking, this is a new team, the quality we have not really that good. If Martinez not fit, is Maguire we rely on. That would have been a thought process at that time. But I think as more injuries came, you started to see more and more his over-reliance on our starting 11 and the inability to properly coach the entire team to play the system, so that when you make changes, the team playing how you want the team to play. So for me that was like the start of everything from what I saw.
Yeah. Phil, you wanna jump in?
I can't remember what exact game it was, but it was a couple of games before the Carabao Cup final. I think those couple of games we weren't looking too well, and then after the Carabao Cup final was when I guess the guys got a bit too cocky or overconfident, And that was a Carabao Cup final. Imagine what these guys would have done if they won the Formula One Grand Prix or the Champions League, right? Yeah, the football started to decline after that final, and then it became where, as JP said, he's relying too much on one player. So it's almost like you're already starting the favoritism that we're trying to get away from, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had, the likes of Maguire and then the Law, Fred, and Scott McTominay, right? We were trying to get rid of those type of like managers because at the end of the day, we don't support players, we support the team, right? When he started to make comments about Lissandro Martinez and just these post match comments that had me kind of like wondering, where is he getting this from? And it's almost like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer all over again, right? That second season, I was a tad bit lenient because he had quite a few injuries, right? But you got to ask yourself, why other teams around us aren't getting this much injuries? Why it has to be Manchester United, right? And he sounded a bit too political. It's almost like he was trying his best to prolong his firing with some of these post-match comments. We as a panel could see how the team was set up. We can see him making subs in the 85th minute and leaving things to so late. Yet he's coming out on post-match with journalists and saying that we were the better team. No, we weren't. We were far from the better team, right? And then I'll pass it off quickly because there's so much similarities between this guy and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we could not put two halves together. Same thing under Erik ten Hag. Under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we used to make he the manager at the time used to make comments after matches, trying to appease fans and saying something totally different. Same thing with Erik ten Hag, right? Under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, there was favoritism. There's your Harry Maguires and then the law started every single time. Fred and Scott McTominay, yeah, the likes of Donny van de Beek, and even other better midfielders cannot get a start over these guys. Even if we had midfielders that were not as good as Scott and Fred, you still had to give them a chance because we want to see what they can do versus Scott and Fred, right? Same thing under Erik ten Hag as well, too. There's too many overlapping similarities between ten Hag and also Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And that's the reason he had to go.
Yeah. Nicole, what you gonna say? When you think it started going wrong for Ten Hag?
Yeah, I think when he changed his style of football, I think when he started a high press, a more front foot football, not depending solely on the counter attack. So we had multiple facets of attack. We could have attack from counter. We could have, win the ball high up the pitch, and scored, and then all of a sudden we convert to only could score on a fast break, only could score on a counter, and I think that became so predictable, and it became even harder for us to score because teams. It had no variety in the football. The football is all right as we get the ball, pass it for Rashford or Garnacho, whoever else, and he wing who has speed, and hope that something happens. And that to me that got too predictable and was too easy to defend against high quality players, which we know there is in the Premier League, and even in Europe, right? And I think for me, that's where it starts to go downhill. Football was too predictable. It got boring. We really couldn't see where goals coming from outside of our counter attack, and I think to me that is where it starts to go all downhill for Ten Hag.
Yeah. Simeon, jumping on this now.
I mean, for me, I think the biggest thing was, the favoritism. You start seeing, Rashford having bad games and bad attitudes and no response. And after the whole Ronaldo thing, he thought, he would jump on that, but he didn't. He had Sancho doing his thing, but, whole different result with that. And then another big thing was his signings. Like, you say you want that kind of football, and you spend money on people who come in and they can't play your style of football. I just feel like, we were so much invested, put much money put in him, to get a good team out there, and he would say what he wanted, and then he would get something totally, opposite, like Rasmus Hoyland, like good young player, but that's not what that's not what we need. If you want to do the kind of, build up play, look, talk about wingers. You have Ahmad out there that could, build the play, protect the ball. But if you go and you don't want to play them. You want to play, guys who don't protect the ball, guys who just play, the lack of consistency in what he's trying to do, it was baffling. And the things he said after post game, he and the balance. And this is what bugged me, like, I think the most, because we had Ragnick who sees something wrong and say what's wrong. But when a journalist can spell out what's wrong with your team, and you get so defensive, you can't answer the question. Talk about your 2 trophies. Like, the balance on this team was off so many times, and he couldn't just say, well, yeah, we gotta fix that, I kind of try and cover up, too much stuff. You try to cover. I don't know who you was covering for, or you just trying to hide a system. But like that kind of nonsense just lost me.
Yeah. Lion, and then we will let Chef go through his book, right? Lion, what are you saying?
Well, the first season wasn't. I didn't expect too much coming in, but when he changed his style, it's like we went away from what we was building. I know he has his own style to implement, but it seemed like we went away from something that we could identify with a little bit, right? And then also the favoritism, as Simeon said, keep playing Rashford, trying to play him into form, and that would affect the other players too, because everybody needs to play, but they want to keep playing that same player over and over. So I believe a lot of players lost trust in him. Even though he won the FA Cup, he reverted back to the style, but the games he was supposed to implement that style, he didn't. And that's how we lose a lot of games, right? He didn't have good in-game management. The first season, he got the subs on point. He was getting it on. We used to say he need to put this one on, and it's like Ten Hag here and we. But then second season now, he wait until the 90th minute, 80th, and it's what this man doing. He stopped trusting certain players, stopped trusting certain youths we could bring up to help the team when we were in an injury crisis. So I was surprised he even started the season, but I was fully backing him because I want my team to do well. But since last season, I think he lose it. It was the end of him last season. He just was lucky to come into the season.
Yeah. Let me just get 2 comments here before I pass over to Chef, right? Kurt on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He said, if I was a betting man, I would have win. Yes, I had said that if Man United continue to touch in the relegation zone, Hag Truth was going to get boss. All right.
Yeah.
And you would not win much because that betting it's not much odds against that.
Yeah.
A blind man cannot see that.
Yeah. I can't see how Amado was the best winger from the beginning of the season, and then suddenly he's a bench player. Right? As I say, Anthony could never see game again in United colours, as Simeon said. Ten Hag was showing too much favoritism. Dembe, Elliot Brent on the inside, thanks for joining. He said, until this day, after such a great off season, I don't know why Amasin play a game yet. We can't get a settle back for. Yeah. Chef, you know where it started to go wrong for Ten Hag, right?
All right. So for me, the handling of even though we might say Ten Hag is not fully to blame for that, the handling of De Gea's contract, that we start with that. That was
Stop trusting his own
huh?
process.
Yeah. The handling of that was poor on all. I can understand you're saying. I believe the best managers are able to take their philosophy and tailor it to who they have and who the league is. You can't always, not because you play a style of football one way in one league means that it's going to work in another league. Often enough, it doesn't. And a good example of that is Pep playing style from Barcelona to Germany to England. Pep learned quick that you couldn't go Germany to play tiki-taka football because you didn't have the staff for that. And then when you come to England now, same thing. He learned that, listen, it had to be a different type of football. That is not saying I'm going away from a philosophy. My philosophy is attacking possession-based football, but we had to tailor it to who I have playing for me. I had to have confidence in my team. Let me tell you something. Ten Hag fool us. When Ten Hag first came, we thought the way he handled De Gea, the way he handled Ronaldo, we was like, good. He can handle the egos because that's what we always say. One of the first things you have to be able to handle with this Manchester United, apparently, is the egos. You had to be able to show I's the boss. You start off one way, and then, like, immediately after Ronaldo was gone, we saw it. Players was getting run into the ground. Dan, you come from Ajax. You come from having the whole bringing up the youths into the senior team. That is what you preach to us. That is what you talk in your press conference on them beforehand. And as you get in the job, as Nicole always says, the pressures of the job. But bro, if you consider yourself a top flight manager, you had to be able to handle the pressures of the job and do your job properly. And you seeing players injured, you know players with a history of injury, and you're still running them down, Dan. You wanted to play, you start off by saying you want to play this high press football. Then how long that last? Did that even last half a season?
And you know, right? And you know, we used to talk here, and I used to say, you have players, and you want to play a particular way, but the player's not capable because we used to start off nice, and even under Ragnick, you go see that high press, we go play a good 15, 20, 25 minutes, and after that, them fellas go drop off, and we just had to get bored, and we under real pressure. So I don't know. But as Chef going on, you know, like a jumping and thing too, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna go because we just talking about how it started because it has so much mishaps along the way with Ten Hag. Then I think as a fan base, we gave Ten Hag leeway. Because you know what? We were sick of the revolving door. We want our club to do well. So we say we are allowing we said it right in front of you. We are allowing Ten Hag. Remember when we had the podcast and it was asked, how long you think it would take for Ten Hag to get it together? We said 3 years. We said by the third year, You had to have some kind of semblance of where you want to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And by the third year, it was worse than the first year.
Correct. Correct.
It was worse.
Real regress.
It was badly. So I would say again that the way he started fool us into thinking that it would have been that way, and it really wasn't. And that is why I asked a question today in our football group. Do y'all think the handling of Ronaldo and the handling of Sancho and what they said, now at the end, Ten Hag has gotten fired. So who now was right? It leaves questions to ask.
They leave questions. They definitely leave questions. But at the end of the day, I still don't agree to Ronaldo under this situation because
of course not. Of course not.
Club,
Which you're not.
Bigger than the club. And I think with Sancho as well too. I think he handles Sancho well because Sancho get real leeway, Sancho get real rope, Sancho get a whole paid vacation in Holland. And all Ten Hag says he didn't train well. And this is why I keep saying, if you look at the comments that Maresca making about players now, nobody batting an eye about what Maresca said.
He brutal,
one of their most expensive signings, Mudryk can't get sweat, and he's saying Mudryk not ready. Anybody say anything about that? But Ten Hag say for one game Sancho didn't train well. And Sancho had to get an apology and he leave and go on Dutchman. I'm not buying that shit.
Look, he dropped Sancho.
Exactly.
And you ain't a smoke that. You ain't a smoke that.
Nothing. Sancho didn't say a word about it. He get pulled off halftime and then he get dropped.
Yeah.
Okay, he get pulled off halftime, I guess about cool.
I think we mentioned on the podcast last night that this new generation of players need to be cuddled, right? Sir Alex, I could be real. Sir Alex Ferguson could not handle these players today. Roy Keane.
Patrice Evra was on Rio podcast and he literally said that today.
Yeah. Sir Alex Ferguson would have been sacked. Right?
That may be why he left, because he realized people were changing.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, back in the day, you could talk to certain men, certain players. You won't say they're shit, but you say you need to pull your socks up, and that player would take that sort of like
definitely more colorful than that.
Yeah. But he won't curse or abuse them. I'm talking like, you wasn't well today. Today was not a good day at the office, right? But it's all about so back in the day, it was all about the message. Today is all about the delivery, right? The message was, you play shit today. I take that wording and I go and play better the next game. Now, all of a sudden, in today's day and age, you play shit today means that my mental health is in check. I gotta go to social media and do this. You just need a lot of cuddling.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. It's true.
Players again cuss up all the time.
No,
but sometimes
true.
I just feel like if I agree with you, Phil, because but sometimes I just feel like that's just Manchester United soft ass way. But so I know the world is different to that. But to us, I just watch, and I know we keep on calling Pep name, but dog, it have other managers too. Who does, it's my way or my way then?
Yeah,
it's in our nose.
Pep's so cool.
Take that now, and he probably could talk to some of his players because of Pep caliber. They probably have men who we know. I could cost them, and they will take it. But I feel it's harder, man. He will know. And Fergie was like that too. And you hear Rio and them talk about that, about like he would ball up behind our gigs and our Beckham, who are senior men in the room, so that the younger fellas who he don't want to ball up at will see, if I could talk to these men so, then all you have to know is the time.
You know what I think it is?
I think it's man management skills too.
Not only that, but what I think it is you see this thing called success. You have no way you cannot respect success. And if I have a history of doing things a certain way, well, you have no choice but to listen to me, you know.
No, but
I still
give
think
you an example of you see Arteta. Arteta have his squad in again.
Dan, Arteta cuts out that squad, you know.
Yeah.
And this is it.
You had a clean out.
And this is it.
You have to do that.
That is it. And let me tell you something, right? Sorry, Alain, let me just say this one thing before I jump in. And I think it have some words Ragnick used that I think INEOS running with. He say starting for younger players who on the first and second contracts because them fellas will come in and them fellas will be open to learning and listening.
Yeah.
Right? You see this tendency that Man United had in the past of wanting to buy these Galactico players and star players.
Yeah.
You just can't talk to them fellas after a while.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? So now that, and I noticed where INEOS going, INEOS buying younger players. You know what I'm saying?
Because they can mold them.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right? And they bring in a young, a manager, not necessarily, because we try the manager with, you know, all kind of accolades. We try those. We try managers with
nothing.
Nothing. And none of those things work. Right? Because it had too much things that wasn't meshing and agreeing. So I think the approach that INEOS seem to be taking is where we could go back now to where managers might have a little more control and influence on the players, as opposed to I coming in a dressing room and I watching men who win more things than me. And it's not that we have an issue with that, you know, but them players coming with a sense of entitlement and attitude that you have to deal with. And then when them fellas walk in that dressing room, let me use, for instance, Casemiro. And I'll say by no means saying Casemiro is a culprit here. But with what Casemiro win at Real Madrid, he come in and then he watch the likes of a Menu. You feel when he started to talk to Menu studying, well, there's Casemiro in a dread. Who the hell is Ten Hag? You know what I'm saying? So the power line with the senior players more than the manager sometimes. And that's a problem that we have to try to, you know.
But Kareem, one of the big problems Ten Hag had, you know, and has is his recruiting. Like, to counteract that effect, you need to bring in good players, right? And he never got almost every player he brought in somehow didn't have the impact he thought. Even Martinez was hurt when he rated him. Anthony had like 2 weeks where we thought he was going to be good, and the man just fell off the map. You know, Mount, his number 7, our first purchase in that summer. Mount, he do not. I mean, the man just stay injured.
Nothing.
You know, Onana was crap. I mean, like if you're gonna counteract the culture of this team, you can't bring in players that come in here and do nothing. Like, you know, Ten Hag wanted what was the full name again? He first came in, that midfielder for Barcelona.
De Jong.
And up to now, he didn't get anybody remotely like De Jong. And that's why I question what he really trying to do. Like, all the players he brought in hardly had any impact on his team. A little bit here, a little bit there, but not. Malacia was injured. Like, at the end of the day, like, if you're gonna rebuild a team, you bring players in, they have to have an impact. You know, besides Martinez, who we all like you hardly have anybody that could say, you know, come in and say, you know, we go move this team. You know, you see the league. I mean, I don't know how many was INEOS signing this time with
I think all of them was INEOS signing.
You know,
I don't think so, you know.
No, I think so.
I'll tell you why. To add to that point Simeon making and that is such a key point. That is we keep on saying that's our next reason he get fired. Only I write a few names down here, right? This is based on his recruiting. I even call all the players, but just it real hard for me as a fan. Let me put myself out as a fan, as a businessman, to say, I have you in charge of my company. You have spent this kind of money, and not only are you failing, the team is failing, but the men you have brought in have failed miserably. And I will say this, Ten Hag scouting was only looking, in my opinion, to pick up men he played with before. Because so you looking to play with people you trust, but then that can't be your modus operandi to scout. Look how long he run on the young for nearly 2 seasons.
But Chef, my point exactly. How you gonna want at the young? He wants to spend $100 million on the young and then not go and get anybody like the young. How? How?
I think
never had a plan B to it.
I think one thing also is that I think when you mentioned that Ten Hag made us look like fools, some of these players as well too. I gassed up Anthony. I gassed up Onana. I was singing songs, Onana, what's my name? And Onana. I just singing all these songs about Onana. Anthony dominating with Ajax versus Real Madrid and other teams in the Champions League. Mason Mount. And it's almost like we get slapped in the face. We did. We get a slap in the face with some of these players and this manager as well too, right? As Chef mentioned, right? Why are you looking to get players that okay, so you're looking to get players that you have had some experience with in the past, or you have seen play in the same league that you were coaching in. If you don't have a plan A, you got 25 letters in the alphabet, you know. You got 25 other letters in the alphabet, bruv. Just because you didn't get Frankie de Jong, just because you're chasing Sofian Amrabat, just because you're chasing Ugarte for a whole friggin' well summer. If plan A don't work, B, C, all the way down to Z. Find somebody else.
Yeah.
You cannot rely on your first choice. Look, after 2 or 3 weeks, look, we get that signings is not like FIFA. So there are some fans out there that think that when we're going after a player, you can immediately sign them like that, like it was on PlayStation. I'm not one of those fans, right? I know it takes some time to gather a package, not only to give to the club, but also to like find the player a house. I understand all of that, right? But it can't take you an entire transfer window to chase one friggin' player. It can't happen.
For the player to come and fail, dog.
For the player,
to come and this window, if you're really watching the workings of the whole FFP and thing, was a whole different way of doing business with this INEOS this time. And some of the players that bring in there is players that there was recruiting from, well, United was recruiting before Ten Hag, like the little Mazwari and them was before Ten Hag. So, well, because Ten Hag wanted to keep Scott, he wanted to keep Amrabat, he wanted those players, he didn't want Ogate. This is INEOS signing. So when he's not playing, that could be one of the reasons why he gets sacked too. Because you get Ogate, which is he's a decent player, and you're not playing him. Right? Decisions like watching Garnacho throw away a set of goals, and they have Ahmad on the bench, but you take off Rashford, who looking promising.
Yeah.
And leave on Garnacho, who playing the wool and nonsense.
Stinking at the place.
And you done take away Ahmad good spirits from not playing him for the last 2 games, for him to come on and be like, yeah, I get a chance now. He was taking away the spirit out of players, by giving others who not performing favoritism, right? Because they want to play Garnacho over and over. You're seeing Garnacho is not a starter right now, right?
Where
Ahmad
but Lion, where Garnacho get this ego from?
because he gets into play all the time.
Manager? Is he
He
manager?
gets
He's too
into play.
comfortable.
He
That's the
realizes
worst
that
part
play.
about Manchester United right now. Players are too comfortable. Reem, it's not you made the point last night about Foden. To this day, Foden, who's one of the best players in then I think the only player who does be sure to start
It's Haaland.
is Haaland, you know.
Haaland.
Yeah.
Nobody else, you know.
And maybe the goalkeeper, obviously. But I mean,
But then, so that is a winning team. That is a team that beating people. So you mean to tell me a team that is rank shit, Hammond, who's sure about this, the thing, I will say it and I will go down saying it. You can't tell me a man could go from being player of the month to come gas start, boy. And you want to sit down in a press conference and say, hey, this man that's trained good. This man is the deadliest thing in training. Boy, I find...
Chef, and I tell all you, I think I talked this on the podcast. I tell all you Anthony coming back in that side. I tell all you that he would come back in his side.
But no, Ahmad though, like that's madness.
It doesn't matter to Ten Hag, he's coming back in his side. You have to watch the craziness Ten Hag start to do. You see Rashford gaining a form, all of a sudden you drop him. Or you take him off half time and this is rotation.
I don't want fast forward. I don't want fast forward, right? But I mean, know that I hear people talking about Gareth Southgate. Bun that Southgate talk. Bun that. This whole Ruben Amorim from Sporting Lisbon. I've heard exciting things about him. I've seen his style of play. But you know who not getting gassed up and hyped up? Me.
Yeah.
You see when we had Ragnar in charge, the amount of videos circulating about Erik Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Style of play with Ajax.
Yeah.
You know who not getting gassed up?
Not me.
Not me.
Yeah.
And thing I don't see already.
This is how Ruben Amorim will dissect your
lineup. I bypass and I don't see nothing yet.
I take it at one game at a time, yes. As usual.
Don't forget that man nationality. That man's Portuguese. So you know some players could play instantly, you know. All right.
I have a little part where I want to talk about Amorim,
the whole fan. I mean, it hardly a fan base. It has space for optimism.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me just get some comments, guys, and then I just want to close off on Ten Hag before we move on, right? Then Elliot Brent saying here, I think his job is the most pressured job. Yeah, any Man United manager. I mean, we should have known after all the trophies a man win. He say coming second is the biggest accomplishment, and that's Mourinho comment, right? Kamau, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct, Edwards, thanks for joining, man. Good night. And he said his downfall was trying to change the playing style so aggressively. Right, so I think Nico mentioned that, right? He also saying he tried to go from a team of guys playing without pivots, using one holder and one holder that he never had. And that is something earlier I used to bang on it after that first season. You know, Eriksen was your deep line playmaker in the absence of a De Jong, but you never replace the Eriksen type player. You understand what I'm saying? You went for Mount, who more similar to Bruno than Eriksen. These are the kind of things that was doing my head. Right?
More similar to Phil Jones.
He said, yeah, you had to give him leeway winning 2 trophies in 2 seasons. It's not simple. Right? Being on the inside, good night to you, buddy. Bittersweet night, but we go forward. Bittersweet. All right, I know, but all right. A really sweet part was the news about who we potentially bringing in. I don't know. W. Brent saying, hey, he caught us with the first season. Be honest, if last year was his first year, nobody would be saying 3 years. No, it's true. It's true. But I mean, you still can't have so long and we ain't seen nothing identifiable. Right? Kamal saying here that drop is showing with Newcastle, Spurs, etc. There was always going to be a drop off. But the thing about Spurs, but more so Newcastle than Spurs, is you're seeing certain things identifiable. You're seeing players improving, right?
Yeah.
And when they win games, it don't look fluky. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I remember it had a long period last season when Newcastle was missing some key players, and I wasn't hearing excuses.
And I still beat PSG.
PSG, and they were performing well.
Yeah.
So I mean, I hear you, but sorry, Chef, you're muted.
Chef, you're muted.
Chef, you're muted, man.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Brighton does change coach a million times.
And sell off the players.
Yeah.
Brighton
star players like a revolving door.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, boy, we need a left back. Kurt's in here, we need a left back. And yes,
we gonna get to that left back talk.
Yeah.
You see that left back? That alone, Ten Hag should get fired for.
Yeah. You done gone, Chef.
He get
gone.
No, I mean, should I get fired before? Yes.
Well, I know. I hear trying to read Chef's shirt. Wait, you got on?
Can we do now?
Kamal saying, as a manager, you hang your hats on certain players and time how to pick all the wrong guys to put his faith in.
Look, let me say something about that. You see Bruno. The man let Bruno play every single game, every single second.
No matter how he played, eh?
No matter how he played, the man gets sent off twice in consecutive games, and the man come and play in Mets, and you still play him.
Yeah.
And you,
Dan,
how your Man United career end with Bruno putting the ball in his stand.
Yeah.
That's what you get. I mean, that's what you get. I mean, you want to, when you abandon your style of play to two players, you put players above your style of play, because you try to put too many players who couldn't play that position, but trying to force them in there. At the end of the day, this is what happened.
He was relying on players to do something, not the system to do it.
That's right. The man who telling us, trust the system.
He not using his system. At Olishan watch that Rio thing today with Evra on it, because Evra talked about Bruno.
Yeah.
He talked about Bruno. He said Bruno don't have no discipline. He talked about Bruno lack of discipline in his position and in play. And these are the people we call leaders on the team.
Who's we? Nah. We are calling Bruno no leader. You better call names as to who calling Bruno leader.
Wake up. The fan base calling him leader. Yeah, the fan base.
No, I think as JP saying here, and because really agree, Bruno Fernandes has been the single greatest disappointment under the Ten Hag era. Under him is probably Rashford, because we really looked, all of us had our hands, all right, the stripping Maguire, then the next thing is Bruno Fernandes.
Yep, I admit.
We all did it, and we could understand why. But then, here's my thing, trying to hold the reins and toe to his side is not what Bruno Fernandes doing. That is not leadership.
No.
That is nonsense.
Is doing something spectacular to tote the whole team. He don't know how to rally men and say, okay,
He
you
just
come in,
complain too much.
He himself complains too much.
He complains too much.
And then that trickles down to the other players as well too, because
That's right.
You're gonna look up to what your manager or leader is gonna be doing, and you're gonna think that's okay, and you're
After
gonna do it as well.
after Bruno, the next complainer is gonna show. And the thing is, bro, you just do things to get kicked down. You just do your poor style is you see a 3 men and want to dribble into the 3 men. How about knocking off your ball? Dan, you're young, you have speed and making runs, making interchanges. No, you just want to. Dan, you're not Messi, dog.
Or
He
CR.
need coaching still. He need
He is
coaching
one of
still.
them.
Yeah. Brent saying here, this would be like having to manage 11 David Beckham. I mean, with the time, I don't know how some comments might be related, right? So sorry, but we just get the comments going, right? This is why Ten Hag brought in so much of men he accustomed to.
But they failed.
Right?
They're failing.
Kamal saying here, Rashford should have been sold and Luis Diaz brought in the same season and Ten Hag came in. But you can't say that when Ten Hag came in because Rashford had one of the best seasons.
Nah, you could not.
Rashford had the best season, so I mean,
Hindsight is a beautiful thing, you know?
yeah, hindsight. Recruitment is the real issue. Definitely, I agree with this. And they will see men keep banging on about, you're buying the wrong players, not fit for purpose, right? If you know you want to play a particular way, why are you going after X and Y?
Dan, Anthony, 90 million. Sancho, 75 million. Mount, 65 million. Xerxes, 45 million. 200 million plus in players who ain't do nothing for a club, dog.
Yeah. Could say here Ten Hag was making United a second Ajax or an Ajax in the Prem. Well, that would be taught, right? Then he come and say he's not trying to play Ajax football here.
So he can't.
He can't.
The players.
Yeah.
I was confused.
Kevin Williams saying here, why did they buy Ugarte? Was it for Ten Hag or was it with an eye on the sporting manager? We're getting there.
Because remember, it's a style of play they're trying to implement so that anybody coming out to fall in. So if Cameron is in the mold of the manager they're looking for, even if it's not him, Ugarte was a player for him. So Ugarte is in the style of the kind of play that they want.
Right. But that is the same recruitment team that didn't want to pay money for Haaland and Bellingham and who again?
Nah, that's not the same recruitment team. That changed. Them is not the same people who was there for Haaland and Jude and them.
I think the timing off. The timing. I think it Anthony or somebody.
That was under Ole.
Ole was watching Haaland and them fellas.
Yeah.
And Jude.
Yeah.
Ten Hag never stood a chance if your recruitment team allowed Alvaro to leave. Right?
We'll get to the seat. Oh my God!
The whole recruitment team bad. A kid on the inside. Thanks for joining, man. He's saying I agree with Chef. The scouts was terrible. That's like Pep bringing all his Barca players to Man City. He knew them. All of these players were flops except Martinez. Right?
And the thing is, Martinez himself.
Yeah. How many players they're going to keep misjudging talent over the next 6 to 7 seasons? Right. I think Meno is his De Jong. When he couldn't get him, he settled on Meno. Yeah. Devin Walker on the inside. Thanks for joining, man. He's saying the decision should have been made during the last international break.
That's what we said. And INEOS had to take some blame, Because we understand them now start to, but this handling of the Ten Hag situation have to be a lesson for them. It have to be.
Maybe they talked to him during the international break and wanted to give him a next chance to see if he would actually do something.
Then let's start talking to people since then, man.
But JP, it should not have been no next chance. That was saying. Ten Hag should have been gone. Next thing they did, you see this thing about openly talking to possible managers while you have a manager. That's not a good look.
That could turn the players against him too.
I think to be hearing about this, because I sure that teams that start to do this process when they see things going downhill. But with Man United, everything always being reported.
Yeah, it leaks everywhere.
Maybe that is why the bust the axe on him this morning, because nobody see that coming today.
Yeah.
That's why nobody see it coming today.
Why I wanted it. It should have been done an hour after the game yesterday. I find it take long.
I can be straight up. Whatever manager comes in after Ten Hag, we as big men, we have been following Manchester United and we have been watching football for probably 20 plus years. If I'm speaking for everybody on the panel, at least 20 plus years, right? You can tell by at least the first 4 to 5 to 7 games if there's going to be some style of play. It can be a little, a little oomph of like, okay, I realize that within game 1 and game 2 they try to play this sort of style of play, and that it will eventually progress when game 10 and 11 come. That maybe 3/4 of the style of play has been implemented, but not the full style of play. Honest to God, man, I saw shit all under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Erik ten Hag the last 2 seasons.
Yeah,
I have not seen where and you know the worst thing, we are moments FC. Everything must happen at specific moments, right? We must now rely on individual brilliance to win games, not team play. Individual brilliance. We must make the front page of the Sun and the Daily Star and whatever newspapers in Trinidad, whatever. We must make the front page, right? Individual player wins 3 points to Manchester United. That's what we are. Moments FC and individual brilliance FC, and we try to get away from that from under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and lo and behold, it's just being rinsed and repeat and recycled under Erik ten Hag.
Yeah.
And it almost felt like if the players and them they sell things that way, then I swear Manchester United has these most selfish, self-centered players in the league. Men don't play as a team at all. Men don't believe in making the extra pass for next man to score. My name had to be the one up there.
Correct. Yeah. And I see, Chef, and we talked that in previous podcasts. That comes from the manager, because the manager rewarded.
Thank you.
Yeah. You could have a shit game, but once you score, you start the next game.
Thank you very much.
And that most recent case on point was Ahmad. Ahmad playing. Ahmad contributing to the team style of play. You're seeing something constructive from Ahmad.
But Ahmad come off the bench and score.
But Garnacho come off the bench and score. And Ahmad again with G&A, and all of a sudden Ahmad can't start a game.
Dan,
so we pushing the hero culture.
Yes.
So when you see Bruno shooting from half field, and we need you to hold on to the ball because we want to be patient in possession, but you feel you need to score from half field because your team need you, right? Oh no! Oh, because the team need to win. Will you expect everybody else to do?
I can use
Ten Hag have a big part to play in that.
I can use 2 examples here right now. Go over to Aston Villa and you see how Aston Villa beat Bayern Munich. And Unai Emery can always rely on this guy, Duran, to bring him off the bench, right? You don't see Unai Emery saying, okay, well, he scored the winner versus Bayern, and he scored
starting next week.
Winners. I know he got to come on and no start.
Yeah.
That is what Eric Ten Hag is doing.
Know your place, know your function, and watch me, Phil.
Thank
It's a
you.
good. It's
Dan,
a good for you too. It's a
only
good
watch
for you
him.
too.
He get a start. He get a start weekend. What last week? And the man look ordinary then. And I say, you see, this is why the coach say, you know what? Because nothing is wrong with rewarding a man with a start. But then sometimes the best role and function, as Reem rightfully said, come off the damn bench.
Well,
That's Ganacho.
We have no what impact players we have.
Ollie, no, back in the day with Fergie, Ollie was coming off the bench.
Ollie
Was effective.
That was his whole career.
Yeah.
Super summer. That's his career.
And you know what? And you know what?
Important goals, big goals, so we.
And you know what? He's a club legend for that because he understood his role. But just the same thing you all talked earlier about these nowadays players being cuddled. These nowadays players also have that hero complex at Manchester United because it does not go on at other teams. Because you know what? If you playing under Emery, Arteta, Pep, you don't make that extra pass for that man to take. You know you're gonna get bench.
Go back to that go back to that Portugal comment there. Look at the pool of players Portugal got to choose from. Bruno do shit, David Silva coming on.
But this is what I keep on saying. So when men say about him and discipline, he don't do that for Portugal. But you can go back to Portugal as the club captain. You can go back to Portugal as the club captain, you know, and talk shit about how, well, it's so much more comfortable here, the environment, than a music captain, boy.
Yep.
Watch me, Tiana. He made that comment.
As you come back from that, you're supposed to get dropped.
Here now. He made that comment and I wait, and up to now, me here not. But let Pogba
not a word, boy.
Yeah.
Let Pogba say that now, boy. They was waiting for him back in England, you know.
True.
That's so and just to add to everything we say. So when people tell me, all you really want to fire the man, and the players miss them 8 open shots, yes.
But that's
I do.
That is one game.
Even about the open shots is about how you had the momentum in the first half and all of a sudden it dropped in the second half. How?
Damn, man, as I keep on saying it, we incapable of scoring. When we do score, we incapable of keeping our lead. We incapable of finishing off teams. Damn. And this is not something, no. This almost...
Last season was our worst start to the season. And we finished 8th. And then this season, he come and break his own record of having the worst start to the season. So Ten Hag being fired today wasn't even because of this season alone. We happened last season, and all of us put our timeline as to when we think he might get up until to show something different this season. And
if you shove so much dirt under the carpet, the carpet got tumble down sometime.
Yeah, I mean,
he was getting fired regardless, man. Regardless, he was in the future.
I mean, you watch this team like as a manager, like I've been in management for a while. And one of the things that they teach you is, you know, you get what you check or you get what you allow.
Yeah.
If you don't check people when they do it nonsense, they'll keep doing it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
You know, and like with Ten Hag, we thought he was checking it for us, but he really wasn't.
No.
I mean, look at Dallo. How do you get every game you be caught sleeping like that? I mean, it's like how every game you could have a man run one game, a man run through your whole team and score. On the next game, another man run through your whole team and score right to midfield. Like we kept getting these games where it was always the same thing happening. The midfield getting run through, guys ain't passing. Like you wonder if who is checking these things. Are you accepting these things from these players? And after a while, you realize with Ten Hag, he wasn't checking nobody. You know, Lindelof will come on, do a shit, get pulled. But Bruno will play a whole game doing shit. You know, Ahmad will be player of the month, and Bruno who gets sent, and Bruno who plays shit gets sent off twice. Who play every game. It's like you ain't checking nothing. You just letting things run, then first run wild. That's not management. That's not how you manage a team. And people will pick up on that. Your players will pick up on that, and they realize, hey, this man full of shit. And that's why you see some players just, when they get in the game like bus, just and I say, look for that.
I want to pose. Correct. I want to pose a question to Lion, but Lion only, right? Because I have one more point, and then we could wrap it, right? Because I know Lion was a big advocate. He wanted the manager to work and he wanted him to stay, right? Over the 3 years that, 2 and something years that Ten Hag here, it have any positive thing that we could say, well, he leaving us with?
Well, he gets sacked, so I can't say he leave anything positive. All right? Because last season on this podcast, I wanted him to go. I said I wanted him to go, but because he's Manchester United manager, I wanted him to work. Because I love the team. I don't love the manager, but I love the team. And who's in charge of the team has to work for Manchester United. Positives, boy. The only positive I would say is
we had 2 trophies.
Well, that and Kobe Mainoo emergence, and he ran Kobe to the ground. So I don't know.
No, but that's an interesting point, because I think in terms of the patience he used with bringing Kobe through, I think that was something commendable, right? But then at the same time, with the other hand, he kind of undo it now. So
yeah.
And my boy Harry Maguire take away the captaincy and he become yeah, but I mean, it can't really have no positives when you
sometimes when a man there, it could have something that he do, even though ultimately when you look at the big picture, he didn't succeed where his plan was, but could have, I don't know, JP, if anything.
No. Other than the obvious trophies, as we say, he do it, Kobe, and then he undo. So other than that, he let go some promising new players, so who we thought could get some chances at it.
That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing.
So I'm trying to go through my head here if I can think of something.
I got a book like Chef and start writing, boy.
That's why it doesn't do.
Yeah. I want to say the FA Cup. I'll say the FA Cup win. That was, it was a great feeling to beat City the way we beat them, to Kobe score any goal. The players not scored any game as well too. So that whole feeling, euphoria around that.
Because that look like a blessing, boy.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, as we look into wrap it, my last question for the panel, right? Now, in terms of the season expectations, now that Ten Hag is gone. Now, obviously, we mind with Ten Hag being there, we would have done set some expectations for the season, But now that he's not there anymore, and we have a potential appointment coming up, how does that now change your expectation for the rest of the season, right? So think about it. I just want to get the comments and we'll come back and close off on that, right? Devin saying here too many players knew they could play horrible and still be guaranteed to start the next match. That was probably Ten Hag's worst mistake, no accountability. Yeah, the panel say that, yeah. Kurt saying here, but Rashid had personal problems and this was the season to come back, and he was showing glimpses of that so far in the season. right? Come out saying about we making the same mistakes, right? Kurt saying, Chef, Jay-Z will come good, he's showing glimpses, but the kid, Chido, Obi, Martin, wow. Really, I don't care on YouTube saying the ball fraud is gone, hallelujah. For Amorim to be coming in so quick, they had talks with him prior to today. Yeah, definitely. I think so too. Right? The amount of shots I see when they can't make a pass to tap in is incredible. Yeah, man. All the way from Phoenix, Arizona. Well, thanks, man. Thanks for joining. We always hear every night after games, 9 p.m. TT time, right? So thanks, man. Parkinson was another one who hadn't started but knew his role. Correct.
True.
Kevin Williamson here, he was doomed from the start. He was not an INEOS hire. The era officially starts with the next hire.
Yeah.
The INEOS era. Yeah. He left Meno, and he's a big part as to why the youth system is so good. Right? The positives, Nico saying the 2 trophies. Right? Expectations, Nico saying to the last point is top 6.
What?
Right?
Boy.
What?
Christian saying here, how them give Rodri? All right, we ain't going to no Ballon d'Or, because that Ballon d'Or rigged, and I ain't even going to talk about it, right?
I don't say
So-
that.
Nico,
Yeah.
Nico, you can't be serious about top 6. You can't be serious.
So
If we get in top 10, I will be surprised, big man.
Expectation?
no, but
We
if
can
I
still
could just
win
knock,
top 6.
if I could just knock back on that, right? I remember that season Liverpool was real poor, probably in the
Yeah.
same state that we
And
in.
then from
they had a
Christmas-
run. They had
From
a
Christmas, there must be lost one game.
and they finished top 4. They finished top 4.
Let me ask you, you think we have a team capable of that, Kareem?
Yeah. Not
Yeah,
top
we
4.
have a
Not
team
top
capable
4,
of
but
To go on
I
a
think
run
so.
like that, Simeon?
I think top 6
top
is
4,
fair.
top 6 is possible. Not top 4.
Aye.
That's
That's
Hey.
why
top
I'm
4.
manager
Aye.
team.
And I think my brethren Phil share what I'm about to say. Expectation not to get relegated.
Nah, a little wicked.
Nah,
A little wicked.
What?
If Ten Hag was still here, that would have been the
No,
expectation.
Expectation not to get relegated.
No,
That's
man.
it. That's my opinion.
Nah.
Brighton is 6 on 16 points, and we on 11 points. So the difference between us and the team in 6 right now is 5 points, and you have.
Let me ask a question. Let me ask a question.
This- You're gonna throw current form into that?
Let me see if we get this new manager. Let me see if we get this new manager bounce. How long the new manager bounce gonna last?
We
No,
can't
but
say.
if the new manager bounce last and then it translates into playing proper football, and we continue picking up points, 5 points is nothing to catch up on. But
Exactly.
I hope.
Watch me, and on top of that, watch
Oh.
me plenty of them teams right now in mid-table. This team just had to drop points as the league continue to go on.
Dream holy.
We too. We too. We too.
A title charge.
What like as Ten Hag gone, you see man who was injured all year, all
That's
2
it,
years.
exactly.
All of a sudden, Mango be health. Maybe come up. You can see man team
work
pop
at
up.
Beer Jump.
You go see last year.
back
You
in
go see
training tomorrow.
you can see Thor. You go see Mount.
No, sure fit
Harry
already.
Maguire, come
Yeah,
back.
all that man you go see.
Let me get some expectations. I mean, and fellas, we had to take everything into consideration. I understand what Chef said in terms of current form, but let me consider the new manager bounce, which is a factor as well. Let me consider as well that these fellas here could be feeling a little bad, so they want to come out and show, that, yeah. I believe
Lord,
so.
I can't say the
I
word
think
I
so.
want to say. Them.
Because you might telling me, right?
X-Men.
You might telling me. Because INEOS not playing. After Ten Hag gone, the next set of people to go is them
players.
underperformers. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So men are to play for the survival now. They can't hide on no Ten Hag as the manager again.
So wait, let me ask the question: Is a caretaker being appointed, or is the official Ruben Amorim being appointed?
Well, we don't know. We don't know.
Rude is the caretaker, right?
Rude is caretaker.
It looking like Rude might get 2 games.
Right.
Rude is caretaker.
Looking like that. Could be 1.
Yeah, my thing is this squad ain't as bad as it looks.
Exactly.
It ain't good either.
No, all right, fine. But they're not relegation.
But top.
6 or 7.
They're not relegation.
Top 6, why?
They're not relegation.
That's top 6, man.
Top 6, you say?
Yes.
So you telling me this team capable of catching up with City, Arsenal, Liverpool?
They're wrong teams. They're the wrong teams.
All you say top 6.
Yeah.
So I call 3.
Check the 2 after 4.
Go ahead.
So I call 3.
Yeah.
I call 3. I call 3.
2 after 4.
We talking about top 6 in a whole, not
About 5th and 6th, that area.
yeah, 5th and 6th that area.
6, 7. 6, 7.
We have set top 4 and our top 4 is
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 4 out. So then out of the 4, who is 5th place right now?
was
Fifth place
Chelsea.
It's Chelsea and Brighton and 6.
Chelsea, Brighton, and where Villa is?
Villa is
Villa
4th.
or 4th.
Where Nottingham Forest is?
7th.
7th.
Spurs.
And all you're telling me, Lord Father, I as a person, hope I wrong.
We beat 9th.
The reality is the points too, Anna.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
They're not far ahead.
Here we're going on.
5 points.
Me as Chef will come back on the pod and
Yeah.
apologize to you guys if
Yes.
you come in the top 6.
Yes.
No,
That's
we
the deal.
don't want to apologize.
That's
We don't want to
the
apologize.
deal.
We just want
Give it to
everybody
you,
to be
7.
happy. We ain't bound for no apology. Right? We just want everybody to be smiling.
You're getting a box of food.
Yeah, no. I told you. Yeah. That's it.
If Manchester United make that 6 as all you go 7, I have free lunch or
I
dinner
get to it.
for not only you know, but for all you and all your wife.
I get to it.
Man,
I
you
hold
have
it to
my choice.
You come and Trinidad just now,
I'm
relax.
holding it to that, Chef. I'm holding it to that.
Batman.
You should
And
record that,
I'm
please, sir.
Chef, I'm picking which meal I want. I'm picking which meal I want.
That is not a problem.
Exactly.
Right.
Nice.
Record that piece and
Yeah, nah.
clip it.
Here now. Top 7 now. Where you
Not
just
sure.
make sure.
Top 7.
7.
But my expectation.
Don't worry. If I win, I want some. We can talk too.
We can talk. we get off for 30 minutes now. We can talk. All right.
Let me just get the balance of comments here, right? Nico saying here playing a brand of football that's pleasing to watch. So that's expectation.
That's
right?
expectation. Okay.
He says, Chef, you have to be joking. The whole relegation thing. Yeah, Chef joking, man. Chef is serious, man.
What? My expectation not to get relegated?
Yeah. You are serious. You are serious. You are serious.
We played like a relegation team.
No, but understand what I'm saying. If Ten Hag was still here,
Yeah,
yes, I can agree with that. But Ten Hag
that's the
gone.
expectation.
Ten Hag gone with the players and them.
Nah, it's not the
Yeah,
player.
but
The players and them are there still.
wouldn't be.
The players and them are there still.
We see that many times, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know how this does roll by now.
All right, okay.
All right, good saying here, boy. If we get relegated, we would be the biggest laughing stock in the world. That's it happening, boy. That's it happening. Something that happened and like COVID 22 that happened and shut down the whole world.
COVID 20 plus to happen first, boy.
Yeah. You understand? Dwayne saying here top six, I'm telling all you. Right? Javid saying Javid is sure. He's saying like this group feeling the new manager bounce already. I'm telling you.
Without the new manager.
Chef, I will remember that. Yeah, you remember.
They go away
right?
too.
They go away food too. Right?
I hope you know you have a whole car repair place, eh? I gonna remember it too. Don't worry.
Dwayne saying here right now, Chef wondering what he got himself into.
No.
Have food to share out.
Chef has a whole catering business, sir.
Oh
Food is
my
nothing.
gosh. Advertise. Isn't it?
Asia's
Catering
catering.
services.
Yeah.
Chef is not KFC chef. Sorry.
Mylon on the inside. Mylon, you're late, boy. We're looking to wrap up. You know, jump in. Javid saying here free food, and I go say top 6 too, right?
Is that joke now? Is that joke now?
Kurt, if let's say top 10, yeah, not 6. Nah,
Yeah,
man.
top 10 is more realistic.
Yeah, top 10 is probably more realistic. Not 6.
Anyway, fellas, I think we had a rapid day. But it was
Yeah,
a nice.
yeah.
It was a nice.
I tell my wife it wasn't going to go long tonight and watch.
I'm gonna get licks.
Yeah, I'm gonna get licks.
Oh yeah, today was a good day, for so much reasons. James, you're jumping in, man. Thanks, man. Thanks. Pleasant night to you too. Right? Yeah, earlier, I mean, it was good. More optimism. We was talking about how we were feeling watching United games now. Even if the team don't play well on Wednesday, we have something to look forward to,
Yeah.
And that's where I sit in, because I've been honest with you and I told you all I'm expecting nothing drastic from Nistelrooy, because Nistelrooy has been there from the start of the season, so he's part and parcel of what's going on, right? I'm not seeing nothing drastic than Nistelrooy gonna do, so I'm expecting nothing, but I have hope because Ten Hag gone and somebody new coming in. I share the same sentiments. I feel that as a Portuguese coming in, so I just feel like Bruno can still be here to haunt me, But let me see. He might prove me wrong. If there's other appointment,
And he started sweet talking about 2 weeks not ago.
And Bruno must have started talk to him already, because Bruno must have get an S long time. Or he must have messaging him already and liking up all he posts.
Amigo!
But Kurt reason that he getting a real blast from Chelsea men with the chance. Second, but there's positive news, big man. Wait, Chelsea men. But it's so ironic.
For them to stay.
Yep, a Chelsea partner tell me that today. He said, all your fire, a week before we had to play all,
Exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. When the Giants sleeping, people will be comfortable, but when they start to get joked to wake up, like when everybody's worrying.
Who's the Giants again? Oh, United?
Of course.
Not coming top 6. Don't forget.
Top 6, boy.
I will think my Nistelrooy he puts on last 2 minutes. Get that you're out. True.
How do you all think Rude will do Wednesday? I have no expectations. No expectations.
Yep.
None
As Lions say, one game at a time.
Yeah.
I love Rude as a player, but as a manager, we'll just have to see.
Yeah.
Correct. Last comment going to Javid. He's saying on a reel, as United fans, we holding strain so long. I appreciate the effort to still be on this forum, even in its the lowest of lows. Well done for keeping the banner up, even half-mast sometimes. Yeah, for sure, buddy. We here, win, lose, or draw. Chef doesn't want to fight me, but Chef back strong. He'll be here, And even in the comments too, sometimes when it's be hard.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Nah, but Javi, you gotta realize I can't block him on WhatsApp. Because the man to send me the you'll feel you on for the pod, and it's like,
no, it's how he does play.
Yeah.
You will talk to him for the weekend, and then you will hear him drop a little news thing, and then we on later, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Boy. Yeah, man. And we talking about fellas. So again, guys, we could be here on this Wednesday. We playing again, right?
Wednesday night, yeah.
So we're gonna be here again on Wednesday to review the Leicester game, guys. Hopefully we got advance to the next round. And start to get the confidence going. So guys, that we at the end. Lion, Simeon, Chef, JP, Phil, and Nico. Thanks for joining, guys, in the comments. Thanks for the likes, for the shares. And we will see you all on the next one. Have a good night.
Blessings.